Hello everyone, how have you been? I hope you have been great. I am Vicheka, a teacher of English at Prelim New Generation School. This video is in the English class in Level 2B, New Headway Elementary for Citizens. Unit 9 City Living, with focus on the writings describing the place, which is on page 114. And here are the lesson objectives. By the end of the lesson, you guys will be able to first, complete the phrase in writing types correctly. Second, combine sentences by using correct relative pronoun. And the last one, you guys will be able to write about your capital city accurately. But before we start our new lesson, I just want to check the homeworks in our previous video that we answer to the question, where do you go in your town when there's a special occasion like for to reside, to meet friends? Yes. So here's the answers that I get from your friends. I go to shopping centers to meet friends, but I sometimes go to the libraries. And another example from another friend, when it is for tourist site, I go to the farms and hike from lake to lake. Okay. And the last one, I usually go to the cathedral when it's a cultural day. Here are all the sentences from your friends. Okay, so now please move on to our today lesson together. Here is what you have to know before you are going deeply to our writing. So, what is relative pronouns, everyone? Yes, of course, relative pronoun is the subjects or objects are relative clause. So we do not repeat the subject or the object, meaning that relative pronoun is the words that we use in order to avoid repetition of the pronouns that has been used already in the first sentence. Okay? And we have who, where, and which, that the relative pronouns we are going to learn today. So everyone, which relative pronoun is for people, things, and place? So which relative pronoun is for people, thing, and place, everyone? We have who, where, and which. So which one is for people and which one is for things and place? So without further delays, let's move on. Please take a look at these examples. This is the book. It has the information. So in this, we can see that the word book and it are the same. So the word it is the pronoun used in second sentence to refer to the book. So what if we want to combine these two sentences together? We can say, yes, this is the book which has the information. So we combine these two sentences by using the word which and delete the word it. So everyone, where is the relative pronoun in the second sentence? Yes, correct, which. So which is the relative pronoun? So in here, which refers to the book, right? So we use which for, yes, which is used for things. How about the next? So please take a look at the example. I like the girl. She is sitting next to me. So the word girl and she are the same people. So we want to combine these two sentences. We can say, I like the girl who is sitting next to me. So where is the relative pronoun in the second sentence, everyone? Alright, the word who is the relative pronoun. So the word who refers to the girl, right? Okay, so we use the word who for, yes, Who is used for people. Next example. Only one last word of relative pronoun is where. So, there's a house. John and Mary live in it. The word house and the word eat. Yes. So what if we want to combine these two sentences together? We can say, yes, there's a house where John and Mary live in. So we delete the word eat by replacing by the word where. So the word where refers to a house. So where is used? Yes, for place. So once again, which is used for things, who is used for peoples, and where is used for place. Okay, so now in order to check whether you can catch up with what we have learned today, talking about relative pronoun, we have who, which, and where. So what you have to do in this exercise is to complete the word who, which, and where in sentences. And there are 3 sentences. So the first one, I live in Prague. There are many places to eat. Number 2, the libraries my friends and I can read a lot of books is in my school. And the last sentence, she is Mary, is my sister-in-law. So please spend 1 minute thinking out what words should be complete in a sentence. Okay, so let's check. I live in Prague, so the word Prague is the place, right? So what relative pronoun that use with place? Yes, great, the word where. So I live in Prague where there are many places to eat. Number 2, the library. The library is thing, right? So the word that deal with things is, yes, great, which. The library which my friends and I can read a lot of books is in my school. How about the last one? Mary. Mary is, yes, Mary is a person. So we use the word, yeah, who. She is Mary, who is my sister-in-law. So now please move on to the next. Okay, so now here is the writing for our today lesson. My capital city, London. You guys can also open your book on page 114 to see the text clearly. And what you have to do is to read about London and choose the phrase to complete in the text. And we have 8 phrases. A. Where the Queen lives. B. Which is the biggest. C. Which are much bigger. D. Who want to try. E. Where the Romans landed. F. Where you can buy anything. G. Which causes age and a days. And the last one, H. Where you can see. So without further delays, let's move on to the text together. In this, how many paragraphs you can see in this text? So we have from London to this. Number 2 is in one paragraph. From this one, London is famous for many things. To next to the river is another paragraph. From like many big cities to 100 years ago is in another one's paragraph, and the last paragraph is for me the biggest things about London until toy shop in the world is one paragraph. So totally we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 paragraphs, and in each paragraph there are different information. So let's move on to the first paragraph together. London has a population of about 7 million. It lies on the river Thames. Number 1, nearly 200 years ago, from about 1800 until World War II, London was the biggest city in the world, but now there are many cities. So number 1 and number 2, what phrase should be completed? Yes, number 1, where the Romans landed. So rivers Thames is the place, so that should be go with the relative pronoun where the Romans landed. How about the last ones? So in front of the gap completion, as number 2 we have many cities. So what relative pronoun should be the correct answer for number 2? So yes, B, which as my speaker. This one is the first paragraph in our writing. So it's talking about London, the general information of London, about the populations, the locations, and some history related to London. So in short, in the first paragraph, generally we talk about the general information related to the place. How about in the second paragraph? In the second paragraph, we have London is famous for many things. Tourists come from Birmingham's Palace, and number 3, and the Houses of Parliament, number 4, and here's the famous clock being banned. They also come to visit its theaters, its museum, and its many shops, as the Harrods, number 5, and of course we want to buy on London Eye next to the river. So in number 5, we have 4 places that we need to complete. So number 3, we have Birmingham's Palace in front of the phrase that we have to complete. So Birmingham's Palace is the place. So we complete A, where the Queen lives. So Birmingham Palace is where the Queen lives. And the House of Parliament, yes, H, where you can see and hear a famous clock being banned. They also come to visit its theater, its museums, and its many shops Harrods. Yes, I've where you can buy anything. And of course, you want to buy on the London Eyes next to the river. So in the second paragraph, it's talking about what is London famous for. Yes, and X1, we have the Birmingham's Palace, House of Parliament, and also Harrods. So in the second paragraph, mainly talking about London, that there's many things very interesting in London. Okay, so how about the third paragraph? In the third paragraph, we have 2 places that we have to complete the phrase. Peoples is the people, right? And congestion charge is the things. So people into the city center pay a congestion charge. So people, yes, D, who want to drive into the city. Congestion charge, yes, which causes age and a days. So, like many big cities, London has problems with traffic and pollution. Over 1 million people a day use the London Underground. People who want to drive into city centre pay the congestion charge, which causes age and a days, but there are still too many cars on the streets. The air isn't clean, but it is cleaner than it was 100 years ago. Okay, so in the second paragraph, mention about what are London famous for, and in the third paragraph, what is it about everyone? Yes, and X1, we have the Birmingham's Palace, House of Parliament, and also Harrods. So in the second paragraph, mainly talking about London, that there's many things very interesting in London. Okay, so how about the third paragraph? In the third paragraph, we have 2 places that we have to complete the phrase. Peoples is the people, right? And congestion charge is the things. So people into the city center pay a congestion charge. So people, yes, D, who want to drive into the city. Congestion charge, yes, which causes age and a days. So, like many big cities, London has problems with traffic and pollution. Over 1 million people a day use the London Underground. People who want to drive into city centre pay the congestion charge, which causes age and a days, but there are still too many cars on the streets. The air isn't clean, but it is cleaner than it was 100 years ago. Okay, so in the second paragraph, mention about what are London famous for, and in the third paragraph, what is it about, everyone? Yes, in this paragraph, it's mainly talking about the problems that occurs there. What are the problems? After the most interesting things, and the next paragraph is about the problems, the concerns, the challenges that London faces. And how about the last paragraph? Yes, the last paragraph we have, for me, the best things about London is the parks. There are 5 in the city center. Yes, so in the paragraphs mainly talk about the writer feeling toward the place. And now come to the last slide, which is the homework. So what you have to do in the homework is to write 4 paragraphs about capital city, meaning our capital city, Phnom Penh. Begin each paragraph in the same as the text about London. Answer to question below. Write 100 to 150 words. And here as the guide for you that you can also take a look and add more information on it. Paragraph 1. How big is it? Where is it? So in London, it mainly talk about the general information about London and in the first paragraph. And in your paragraphs, you can also add more information to the question here, like the population, the climate, or the transport in our capital city. Second paragraph, what is it famous for? Yes. And paragraph 3, does it have any problems? And the last one, what do you like best about it? So the same thing like in our sample text about London, you guys can also go through it again to gain more detail and then think out our own capital city. Okay, so everyone, thank you for watching this video and goodbye everyone.